What's good, y'all? So for those of you guys that are watching this video the day it is released, later tonight is game 2 of the Lakers-Warriors series, which in my opinion is one of the best, if not the best, second round series we have. And in the game 1 victory for the Lakers, it was very obvious that they were trying to get Anthony Davis going early on in this game and have him emerge himself as the best player on this court, because in my opinion, that's the only way the Lakers are going to win this series and win, going further on into the playoffs, maybe making the championship, winning the championship. If they have those aspirations, which of course they do, Anthony Davis needs to be the best player for them. In the playoffs as a whole, AD's averaging 22 points, 15 rebounds, which is really incredible. You can tell he's really honing in on the rebounding and making it an effort to be a really good rebounder for the Lakers. He's shooting 50% from the field, averaging 1.1 steals, 4.3 blocks. He is doing everything on the court for the Lakers. Obviously, those counting numbers show, the big impact he's having on the Lakers, but he also is a plus 70 in the 7 games so far, only being a negative in 2 out of those 7 games. And Anthony Davis has always been known as a two-way player, get his buckets on one side, block shots, grab rebounds on the other side. But this year, he feels like it's a whole new type of locked-in defensive mentality he has, at least from, viewing it. He has an astounding 95 defensive rating. 95. You barely see it under 100 in nowadays NBA, and he has a 95. That leads the whole entire playoffs. That's not the only defensive advanced statistic that he leads the playoffs in. He also has a 9.9 block percentage, which means he's blocking 9.9% of the opponent's attempts. So 1 out of every 10 shot that's put up when AD's on the court, it's a block. Just think about that. That's insane. He also leads the playoffs in defensive win shares at 0.8. And then he doesn't lead the playoffs in this, but it's still one of the top ones. He has a 3.6 defensive box plus minus. Anthony Davis really has been owning the paint in the playoffs so far for the Lakers throughout the whole season, but specifically in this playoffs, it seems he's turned it up even a notch further. And that's proven in the Lakers' defensive stats as a team. They have the number 1 defensive rating as a team at 103.9. They have the number 1 blocks per game as a team at 9.3. And they have the number 1 defensive rebounds per game as a team at 38.6. I know I'm throwing a lot of numbers at you guys right now, but you basically what all that means is the stuff that Anthony Davis is really, really good at, the Lakers as a team are being really, really good at, and that is propelling them to win. So even though AD's offense has been kind of up and down throughout the playoffs, sometimes he'll drop 25, the next game he'll drop 12, one time he'll take 15 shots, the next game he'll only take about 9. It fluctuates up and down. His defense has been top tier every single game throughout the entire playoffs, just number 1 up here, elite level. And we kind of got to see those two sides of the coin in game 1 against the Warriors, where the first half, Anthony Davis was cooking them, 9 for 10 from the field. He had, I think it was 23 points, 11 rebounds, double-double in the first half. That's very hard to do. The reason he was so effective, though, was because he was playing super close to the basket. He was attacking the basket, getting just the dump-off passes, the little floaters up there. The Warriors, respectfully, they don't really have anyone to guard Anthony Davis. Draymond Green, all-time defender, great guy. He can't really keep up with AD nowadays. Kevon Looney has been having an incredible playoffs, really good season for him. Can't hang with Anthony Davis. So, respectfully, if he's just pounding there, going down to the basket hard, attacking the rim, no one really could stop him, and we saw that in the first half. As I said, he went 9 for 10. You can't really, first half double-double, no complaints. The second half, though, I felt like he was kind of bailing the Warriors out a little bit more, taking more of his threes. Both of his threes came in that second half, taking those deeper mid-range shots instead of attacking close in the paint, So I think that's kind of the fluctuation of it. In the second half, he had pretty bad efficiency, but as I said before, even though his offense isn't going, he still goes and impacts the game in other ways. Still had a bunch of rebounds, double-digit rebounds in the second half. He had blocks, that were really impactful, offensive rebounds that were super impactful, a few assists down there too. So that's a good thing with Anthony Davis. At least the Lakers can rely on that. The bad thing is if he's not scoring, Bron has been having a little shaky offensive, playoffs so far. So it's really just looking for where that offense is going to come when it's not coming from AD. But ultimately, the keys are in AD's hands. I believe that this is fully his team now. I think Bron is, taking a back seat. I think it's pretty obvious to say that. I've said this before, that he's kind of just looking like a completely different Bron that we're used to. And, you know, age got to catch up to everyone eventually. Father Time is undefeated. Obviously, it was just game 1, and I do expect the Warriors to bounce back and win game 2 at home. Obviously, they're not going to lose completely home court advantage. They already lost it by the game, but I don't think they're going down 0-2 at home. So I think going forward and through this series, you know, even looking beyond this, I think Anthony Davis, he has a good chance to be this offensive weapon that they need him to be. You know, like I said before, Draymond, Kevon Looney, none of them can really guard him. Looking forward, DeAndre Ayton, if the Suns advance, can't really guard him. Jokic, I mean, he's a big body, can't really guard him. Then into the finals, I mean, you know, there's a whole bunch of different teams that they could face there. But out west, Anthony Davis is, you know, a top 2 center because Jokic is still out there. And I don't know if anyone else can match him, you know, defensively, offensively. I think that he really has the power and is capable of propelling this Lakers team into the finals, into a deep playoff run, into a championship, and could possibly win Finals MVP if they make it that far. Obviously, I'm looking way, way, way in the future. They still got to take care of the Warriors, still got to, you know, focus one game at a time. But it's a little fun to look at, you know. Anthony Davis has been killing it, so I just want to kind of maybe hype him up. AD, if you're watching this, shout out to you. I got one of your jerseys. I probably should have worn it for this video, but, you know, it's whatever. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you leave it a like, subscribe so you don't miss the next one. In the description, there'll be links to all my social medias, so make sure you follow me on all those to keep up to date with me. Catch ya.